think of the zodiac signs, you know, as the zodiac signs, aka these constellations that represent uh, that are zodiac signs, quote unquote. But what I'm getting to is picture the zodiac signs as directors, or like not say directors, but the people back scene on a behind the scenes, I should say, on a movie set, you know, and it's like they got like the top 12, the top 12 people, you know, each with these unique personalities, you know what I'm saying, dressing up the actors before they go on stage, and you might have to be prepped by, one actor longer than the other, or depending on, it's going down the line, or well, this one busy, you got to go to the next available, you know, again, out of these 12, backstage directors, and y'all excuse me for not having any any words or nothing. This is one of them vibes, it just started coming to me, and I just felt like, I knew I would be able to relay the message, but again, we're on a movie set. Matter of fact, we're on a movie set like the Truman Show, we're in this little bubble. We acting in this movie, a bunch of actors, we all, and this is like you could say like a never-ending movie, kind of like the never-ending story. This is like a never-ending movie, so it's constantly actors being, written into the script, and characters written out of the script, and again, you got these 12, different, and I just say movie, what you want to call it? It's not a director, but these specialists, these 12 movie specialists that help people with their wardrobe, and help them with their role, because it's another thing too, is multiple things, they helping you with your wardrobe, the role you're playing, all this, now of course you got your own idea of what kind of character you want to play in this movie, but again, like it goes through, and since you know what kind of character, matter of fact, yeah, since you know what kind of character you want to be in this movie, you're gonna choose, out of those 12, the ones that you feel, could really, help you with this role that you're about to play in, so you're gonna go to, the ones, the 12, and spending time with each different one, in accordance to how you feel it would benefit the role you acting in this movie, And once you get your little, you go through those 12 specialists, and get what you gotta get from them, and it's time to go on stage. You the star of the show. The star of the show. And matter of fact, the center of the universe at the same time. But the star of the show. When you come down here, and again, you had a choice of what type of role you was gonna play, and you went to these 12 specialists, got your little wardrobe, how you was gonna run it, all this, but you acting in this role now that you're here and the lights on. You are this character now. In this movie. You done. In essence, like with a movie. You done kind of sign the contract. You playing this character. And it's what we prepared everything for you to play this character. You know. And so, with that being said, we we had more free will before, we actually, before the lights hit, and now the show is on. We had more free will about, choosing that character before that movie started. But now that the movie started, we done chose the character, we playing that role. Now, at the same time, you can, improvise, you can, like, just like in comparison, like of Denzel in Training Day, some parts where he might have laughed when it wasn't in the script, or said something that wasn't necessarily, again, in a direct, written script, in essence. Like, he improvised a little bit, did something a little outside of what the script had written down already. As long as he not going outside of, that character, he good. But again, in this movie, it's a never-ending movie, just like the never-ending story. And our character might not always be, in the movie, but it's, how I say, the show still goes on, even though our character may not be in the movie. This little show. But we playing a movie though. Don't forget. We got a home, that we go to, that's off this set from this movie we acting in. We got this home in another place, in essence, so to speak, for lack of a better words, to be in this little boo-boo human language. And, so as an actor acting on a movie set, the movie set is not your crib, like, like, for example, again, like as Michael Jackson shot Thriller, he didn't like, all right, cut, and now he's sleeping in the little graveyard area on the set, waiting for, to refilm. It's like, nah, you go home after, doing this show. But, some people may get caught up in the roles and really love, acting to an extent where, they just, spend most of their time, playing in movies or wanting to be in the movie, acting in these different roles, And so as their character is written off, they kind of coming back around, like asking if they could, play some other type of part they could come in as, But it's just a movie. Each having our own little Truman Show. If If you haven't watched it, watch it. Spoiler alert. But that acting in that movie, and at some points in the movie, you might, again, you got them 12 specialists. You might go get coaching from them, but but that don't mean that these specialists, these 12 specialists, rule you or that they own you just because they, uh, good at prepping people for movies, and do it in such an organized way, that kind of allow things to, to line up and work, allow for, these different roles to be dispersed in a manner that, you know, allow a certain chemistry. That don't mean that these 12 specialists, own us, or we gotta take their advice for everything. Of course, because again, these 12 specialists, they might be good at letting me know, again, how to act in this certain little part of the movie or that little part of the movie. But when it comes to, when I go home and the things I do outside of that realm, that coaching and, that authority, no longer holds, when I get to my crib. Everybody at work, that's where that stops at, Now, unless in my mental, I'm still, letting the role I play, those 12 specialists, get to me and get in my mind where, I'm thinking about them heavy even after I leave work and I'm at home, in which, they occupying my mind, and that's kind of occupying my reality, and, I won't be able to enjoy home or necessarily be at home because, my energy is somewhere else. But that's just, I don't know what you call that. A monologue that I just wanted to share with everybody. And if a monologue is not the word, then, since ye are gods and I could create, and I'm also co-creating, not by myself, but, I create whatever word, I use whatever word for whatever. So it is what it is, but that's the whole thing. And I did my best, I smoked the herb. And I was trying to walk through because it was somewhat of a channel. That's why I just kind of went with it without even having an explanation of without being a director or, like I just was going with the flow of it in the moment. So excuse the, those certain little choppy areas, but, I felt like the gist of it was going to be felt. Again, we get into a place where words, losing more of the value and the essence of just really just being exposed of how much of a lower vibrational form of expression it is. Where people could just say, I love you, or this and that, and not really mean it, stuff like that, compared to, telepathy and extrasensory perception. But, yeah, man, the movie. Don't forget we're playing roles in this little movie, y'all. You don't want to get caught in Chuck E. Cheese with the lights off. Oh man, no, you don't want to. You don't want to see that. Yeah. So, and again, it's not to be. We eternal. We ain't going nowhere. But let's just say, there's just little openings where it's at certain times we're able to have access to certain energies, and this energy only quote unquote come around at certain quote unquote times. And it's taking advantage of it, because it's here for us to take advantage of it or to benefit from it, not take advantage of. I don't like that word. To benefit from it. Use a euphemism. But, yeah, the movie analogy has been hitting strong lately, But that's all it is, what we call these zodiac signs, and the planets that rule certain zodiac signs. Like that's another thing. For that instance, these 12 specialists, I forgot about that part. They got which at first it was like 7 bosses they was answering to, then all of a sudden they had 2 more bosses. I don't know how that worked, but let's just say they had their little 7 bosses, and the energies of those bosses influence those 12 specialists. Why you got that one director, that one filmer of the movie, the one that's running the whole little show, in which just because he running the show of this movie, he or she, just to leave it in that manner, just because they running the set of this movie don't mean that they run everything outside of the set of this movie, but on this movie set, they the director, they call the shots, and you agreed to them calling the shots before you started acting in this movie. In some way, form, or fashion, regardless if it feel like we got pushed into it. Regardless if you feel like you've been forced to act in this movie, it's like, don't blame it on nobody else. Just accept that, hey, fuck it, I'm here acting in this movie. I agreed to this certain role. Then again, though, there's so many there. I think that's it. I don't want to overdo it. So, peace. Happy now, of course. Now is a vibrate. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Now is the vibrate.